Hello and welcome to Quarterlight, your car brochure channel. In today's Saturday's special episode, we're going to be looking at the special edition Mark I Ford Fiesta Firefly. Hello and welcome back, and if you're new to Quarterlight, we're a car brochure channel looking at car brochures from around the world here on YouTube for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s, sometimes beyond that as well. So if you enjoy cars, you're a car enthusiast, you've got a car brochure collection, whatever the reason, please consider subscribing, it really helps the channel. Anyway, today is Saturday and we call this the Saturday Special. Every Saturday we look at a special edition car. Today we're going to be looking at this, the Ford Fiesta Firefly, the Mark I. Now there is other versions as well, but this is kind of like the original. They like using the Firefly name for the Fiesta, so you'll see them on the Mark II, and some of the newer versions as well still use that Firefly moniker. But anyway, let's have a look at today's brochure, which is from 1980. So here it is, the Ford Fiesta Firefly, and as it says, a bright new style setter. This, of course, is the Mark I. Now, this Mark I Ford Fiesta Firefly was actually based on the base model, strangely enough. And this particular car was released in July 80, with around about 2,000 vehicles being produced, which actually makes it quite a rare special edition. Not particularly for the numbers, but for the fact it was based on such a lowly model. A lot of them ended up getting scrapped because, you know, as cars age, what are you going to choose to buy your second-hand car? Are you going to go for a really lowly spec car, or are you going to spend a little bit more and get, you know, like a GL or a Gear or something? You know, there becomes less and less reason to get a base car, but I am a fan of base model cars on this program, so I do particularly like this little Fiesta Firefly. But it does have some nice features on this one. There's a couple of engine choices, a few colour choices. We've got these rather nice colour coded wheels, although they are just steel wheels, nothing too special. So we've also got this sort of like triple stripe going down it as well, and that would have depended on what colour you got as well. So it is only showing this one colour in this brochure. And one thing is strange, like I say, this Fiesta Firefly, based on the very base model, the very base Mark I you could get, so lowly spec'd. And then when they brought out the Mark II Fiesta Firefly, that was based on the top of the range, the Fiesta Gear. So they really switched things around, decided, you know, the Firefly needed to be a better Fiesta, but I think it fits this, and I do like the Firefly name, kind of like suits the Fiesta, I think. But anyway, let's open the brochure up. It's unfortunately showing some signs of wear, this one, but like I said, it's from 1980, and as you've probably noticed, it's got quite an unusual sort of flap to open up and look inside, so let's do that now. So we open the brochure like so. So there's lots of little details in here and tells you about the different colours. So we'll certainly zoom in on some of these images, read some of this text to learn a bit more about this special edition. Unfortunately the page is black, so it's always hard to kind of like focus in, but I'll certainly read this text for you. It says the Fiesta is a good looking and lively performer which has captivated enthusiasts throughout Europe. Now Ford's special project engineers have taken a look at it with a view to adding even more personality and visual appeal. They've designed the Firefly. It's a special edition car with a real sporting appeal, good looks, low running costs, and an attractive low initial price. And the nice thing about these special edition brochures from Ford is that the price is on the back, so we'll have a look at the prices as well. The Fiesta Firefly is very distinctive with a 3-colour body side tape stripe and 4.5 body coloured wheels. Choose a really dashing body colour from Strato Silver, Signal Red, and I presume it's Signal Red is all the pictures it's showing, Terracotta, or Cordobar Beige. The Firefly combines the zip of the 950 40 bhp or 1100 engines with the S suspension to give the car that really handles well. So yeah, it is the base model, but they did give it the uprated suspension of the Fiesta S, which was quite nice. It goes on to tell us sporty performance, definitely unsporting price. Call in at your Ford dealer for a test drive and see what fun the Firefly can be. From the moment you settle down in the 5-position adjustable seat and grasp the 4-spoke gear steering wheel, you'll know it's the car for you. So yeah, very unusual. The very base model, but they decided to give you the gear steering wheel. So that's a little bit unusual. And I always think about Ford special editions at this time. It's almost like they had like a parts bin and said, oh, you know, let's just pull these odd bits on the parts bin and stick it on this base model. But there you go. He goes on to say, admire the styling inside with the colour-keyed chevron fabric trim and outside black finished rocker panels, locks, handles and window surrounds. Enjoy the sound of the Ford push-button P21 radio, the convenience of the intermittent wipe electric screen washers and a passenger door mirror. Now remember, at this time it wasn't uncommon for you not to have a passenger door mirror, remember, so early 80s, nice they threw that in. But most of all, you know that you're going to have a car which combines spirited performance with a low price. So apologies, they're not the best little images, but gives you an idea of it anyway. I think the most noticeable thing is those colour-coded steel wheels to match the bodywork, this time in signal red, and of course no chrome strips or pretend chrome strips. They're purely gone for the black trim look. And there are those very simple colour coordinated wheels. Lug nuts kind of like stick out a little bit, not only in that sort of a silver finish, but there we go. Quite a nice seat trim though, I must admit, but let's face it, it's going to be very, very basic in there. And there we go, there is the gear steering wheel. Very simple controls though. We got a speedo, no rev counter of course at this time. Nice, they threw a radio in for us now, isn't it? And the paint choices, so the metallic paint, that's Strato Silver, we got the signal paint, and we got solid colours of terracotta and Cordobar Beige. It also gives you an idea of that 3-colour side decal, how it's a different colour depending on your solid colour paint, which is quite nice, and the fabric trim also in a different colour depending on which paint choice you choose. Okay, so this is a very basic Fiesta, so they did add this, an optional appearance pack, gradient band windscreen, tinted glass, heated rear window. Yep, the base one didn't even have a heated rear window. You get a P32 radio, which was a slightly better radio than it came as standard, and a centre console with clock. And it tells you later on, you know, there's other Fiesta options that are available, but you can't have a touring pack and you can't change the colour and trim other than those specified. Back page now, so let's zoom in on those important prices. So really, yes, it's a very basic Fiesta this, but I think the key is the prices. I mean, that's obviously what's going to sell the vehicle, although it's a different price depending on what colour you get and of course what size engine you get. So it starts off with the solid colours of that terracotta and that Cordobar Beige. In a 950 you can get it for 3,283, although you probably prefer to get the 1100 for 3,457. You can get it in signal red, which is obviously what the brochure is promoting, for a little bit more money. So you can get it as a 950 for 3,325 or an 1100 for 3,499. But the most expensive one is if you want it in metallic, that's Strato Silver, 950cc, 3,354. Although the most expensive one is Strato Silver with the 1100 was £3,529. Well, still a very competitively priced car, I would say. And if you did want that option pack because it was a little bit too basic for you, that would add another £100. I think that was worth getting. At the bottom here, this is where your dealer stamp would be, published by the Car Advertising Department, Ford Motor Company Limited, Brentwood, Essex, and this little code of FA370. The design for this brochure is Fanfare Design and Print Group Limited, printed in England by Liff Fast Limited, Southend-on-Sea, Essex. So there we go, the Mark I Ford Fiesta Firefly. What an interesting car. I don't know if anyone remembers these or has even owned one of these in the past. I'm sure there can only be a handful of these left because, like I say, base models of Fords from this period really got scrapped. You know, they were really too basic for most people as time went by. But thank you so much for watching today's Saturday special. I hope you have a great weekend. Please like and subscribe if you've not done already, and we'll see you very soon. So take care and goodbye.